Welcome to this virtual anatomy physiology lab. This lab consists of 5 stations, which are the human skeleton, the skull, the femur, the brain, and the heart. To access any of these stations, simply click on the rotating title located above each station. There is a 6th station, but this is used to bring you back to the center of the room. While at the station, you will hear a brief description of the object. With the exception of the human skeleton, you are able to better inspect each object by turning it using the arrow keys. Clicking on the object resets it back to its original position. Please feel free to stay as long as you like. We hope you have an enjoyable learning experience with virtual lab. According to Wikipedia, the human skeleton is the internal framework of the body. It is composed of around 207 bones at birth. This total decreases to around 206 bones by adulthood, after some bones get fused together. The bone mass in the skeleton reaches maximum density around age 21. The human skeleton can be divided into the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. The axial skeleton is formed by the vertebral column, the rib cage, the skull, and other associated bones. The appendicular skeleton, which is attached to the axial skeleton, is formed by the shoulder girdle, the pelvic girdle, and the bones of upper and lower limbs. The human skeleton performs 6 major functions: support, movement, protection, production of blood cells, storage of minerals, and endocrine regulation. According to Wikipedia, the femur, or thigh bone, is the most proximal bone of the leg in tetrapod vertebrates capable of walking or jumping, such as most land mammals, birds, many reptiles such as lizards, and amphibians such as frogs. In vertebrates with 4 legs, such as dogs and horses, the femur is found only in the hind limbs. The head of the femur articulates with the acetabulum, the pelvic bone, forming the hip joint, while the distal part of the femur articulates with tibia and kneecap, forming the knee joint. By most measures, the femur is the strongest bone in the body. The femur is also the longest bone in the body. According to Wikipedia, the heart is a muscular organ in humans and other animals, which pumps blood through the blood vessels of the circulatory system. Blood provides the body with oxygen and nutrients, as well as assists in the removal of metabolic waste. In humans, the heart is located between the lungs and the middle compartment of the chest. In humans, other mammals, and birds, the heart is divided into 4 chambers: the upper and left and right atria, and lower left and right ventricles. Commonly, the right atrium and ventricle are referred together as the right heart and their left counterparts as the left heart. In a healthy heart, blood flows one way through the heart due to heart valves, which prevent backflow. The heart is enclosed in a protective sac, the pericardium, which also contains a small amount of fluid. The wall of the heart is made up of 3 layers: the epicardium, myocardium, and endocardium. The heart pumps blood with a rhythm determined by a group of pacemaking cells in the sinoatrial node. These generate a current that causes contraction of the heart, traveling through the atrioventricular node and along the conduction system of the heart. The heart receives blood low in oxygen from the systemic circulation, which enters the right atrium from the superior and inferior vena cava and passes to the right ventricle. From here, it is pumped into the pulmonary circulation through the lungs, where it receives oxygen and gives off carbon dioxide. Oxygenated blood then returns to the left atrium, passes through the left ventricle, is pumped out through the aorta, to the systemic circulation, where the oxygen is used and metabolized to carbon dioxide. The heart beats at a resting rate close to 72 beats per minute. Exercise temporarily increases the rate but lowers resting heart rate in the long term and is good for heart health. According to Wikipedia, the skull is a bony structure that forms the head in most vertebrates. It supports the structures of the face and provides a protective cavity for the brain. The skull is composed of two parts, cranium and a mandible. In the human, these two parts are the neurocranium, the visceral cranium, or facial skeleton that includes the mandible as its largest bone. The skull forms the anterior-most portion of the skeleton and is a product of cephalization, housing the brain and several sensory structures such as the eyes, ears, nose, and mouth. In humans, the sensory structures are part of the facial skeleton. Functions of the skull include protection of the brain, fixing the distance between the eyes to allow stereoscopic vision, and fixing the position of the ears to enable sound localization of the direction and distance of sounds. According to Wikipedia, the human brain is a central organ of the human nervous system, and with the spinal cord makes up the central nervous system. The brain consists of the cerebrum, the brainstem, and the cerebellum. It controls most of the activities of the body, processing, integrating, coordinating the information received from the sense organs, and making decisions as to the instructions sent to the rest of the body. The brain is contained in, and protected by, the skull bones of the head. The cerebrum is the largest part of the human brain. It is divided into two cerebral hemispheres. The cerebral cortex is an outer layer of gray matter, covering the core of white matter. The cortex is split into the neocortex and much smaller allocortex. The neocortex is made up of 6 neuronal layers, while the allocortex has 3 or 4. Each hemisphere is conventionally divided into 4 lobes: the frontal, temporal, parietal, and occipital lobes. The frontal lobe is associated with executive functions, including self-control, planning, reasoning, and abstract thought, while the occipital lobe is dedicated to vision. Within each lobe, cortical areas are associated with specific functions, such as the sensory, motor, and association regions. Although the left and right hemispheres are broadly similar in shape and function, some functions are associated with one side, such as language in the left and visual spatial ability in the right. The hemispheres are connected by nerve tracts, the largest being the corpus callosum. Welcome to this virtual anatomy and physiology lab. According to Wikipedia, the femur, or thigh bone, is the most proximal bone. Welcome to this virtual anatomy and physiology lab. This lab, according to Wikipedia, the human brain is a central organ. Welcome to this virtual anatomy and physiology lab. This lab, according to Wikipedia, the skull is a bony structure that forms the head. Welcome to this virtual anatomy and physiology lab. According to Wikipedia, the heart is a muscular organ in humans and other animals, which Welcome to this virtual anatomy visit.